Hello there, it's Sniperz227 here with another tutorial in our engine series. So I haven't posted a tutorial in a while. I've been just coding, busy with stuff, but yep. So in the previous tutorial, if you watched it, I introduced a modern version of not modern, but a newer version of OpenGL 3.0, and showed you how to render in a 3.0 context right here. And today we are going to learn how to actually render objects more efficiently using this method. So first thing you're going to want to do is go to your render.h and core.h and include a couple of files. I believe in main.h we should have wglex. That's weird. One sec. There's supposed to be wglex somewhere. Wglex right here. I should probably move this all the way back here because we're going to need it. And then you want to include vector, and that's it for now. So what we're going to do is basically we're going to use a method that draws a list, a vector list. There's two ways you could do this. If you search up how to draw arrays, that's one way. We're gonna use, and that basically just reads an array list and draws that. There's also VBOs, which I will get into, but for the purpose of this tutorial I will just use arrays so I don't confuse you. And the way we're going to do is we're going to use an array vector and also a index vector, which basically the array, the vertex array vector variable has all the faces coordinates. So you know how in I shouldn't have deleted it, but one second, it has basically all the coordinates stored in one array. And for those of you who don't know what an array is, it's a list, just a list of whatever you store in it. So in this case will be a list with all our coordinates. If you don't know what an array is, I suggest you work on that first, because in the next tutorial, in this tutorial, you'll need to know how an array works. But just to refresh your memory, in arrays we do have elements, which is like, say we have a 2, that would be one element, so anything inside it is called an element. And instead of counting from 1, 2, 3, 4, so say we wanted to count the first element in the list, we wouldn't count 1, we'd count 0, starting from 0, sorry. So I'm just clearing that up, but yeah, so we're gonna have two vectors, one called vertex or vertices, and one's index or faces. I'm going to use faces because it makes more sense. So the way we're going to do it is we're going to use the vertex array for coordinates, and then use another function to draw that vertex array, but it's going to also use the faces array, which basically the faces array just tells us which faces we like, which elements in the vertex array make the face. So say we had these three, just using an example, say we had these three elements in our array. This would be the element 0, this would be element 1, element 2. So in our faces array, we'd have the numbers 0 stored, 1, 2. So that would tell the OpenGL to use element 0, 1, 2 to draw one face. So then it would go in the vertices list, it would look at the first element, so 0 is the first element, then the second, then the third. It would take those coordinates and draw them out. So that's what we're going to do it. Enough talking, I'll get to it. You guys will probably confused, but you guys will see how it works, and hopefully you get an idea of what I'm doing. So what you want to do first is declare the vectors. So vector, and then first one's GL float, the vertices or vertex GL float. Just going to use using vectors so I don't have to use std vector, and then another vector which is an unsigned integer called faces. So we're going to take all of this out first, all of this, and we're just going to use a function, a function called pushback, not a function, but if you type in the vector name, you see a bunch of functions are there. We'll use pushback, and it takes like the argument. You could put anything back, so whatever you want. This basically just adds whatever is in here to the array. So if I put 2, it would add 2 into this variable, etc. So I'm just going to I'm just going to export this cube so I can get the coordinates of the each vertex and show you how it actually works. And just a quick sneak peek, this tutorial will also lead into our next tutorial, or well, things we'll talk about here will help us in the next tutorial, which will be loading an object file. So I'm just going to take the coordinates right now to show you how the object file works, but we'll go more into depth in that tutorial. And so there we go. So engine framework, and just name it, I don't know what I said, cube dot object export, and just unselect materials UVs, select triangulate, export it. So now if we go to the folder, find cube, I'm using Notepad++, but basically you could see over here this is one vertex, this is another. In a cube we have 8 vertexes if you didn't know the top 4 and the bottom 4. So you can see this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 8. And then like I said, the index or the faces right here, it says use number 5. So it says this is the first vertex, use this coordinate first, use this vertex first, then use the very first one. So use this coordinate and then the fourth one, and that'll make one triangular face. If you notice, I did select the triangular option. If you don't select it, it's just going to be 4 faces instead of 3, but I like using triangles, and in our cube loader I'll use triangles. But yeah, anyways, I'm not trying to get off topic, and I'll just go ahead. So basically you're just going to copy all these coordinates. Just going to use push back and push back all these coordinates. So I'm just going to copy it 3 times, and look at the coordinates. So these two are -1. Just copy that, paste it again, and it's 1, -1, 1. So just take this off. Pretty easy. Do it again. They're all negatives except for the last one. So put a -1 on this one. Take this one off. So all -1s on the next vertex. So we're on this one. Only the last one is -1. So basically this method is a lot more efficient. Not too sure how, but I know it uses a lot less memory and boosts the performance of our engine. So an engine, you want the best performance you can get, which is why we're implementing this method, and it's more modern. I think it's easier than just typing in geo vertex 3f and then 3 coordinates. But yeah, so we got that done, and then so after this line, we're on this line, only one negative, which is the first one, I believe. Let me see. Yep, and then the next one is first and last one. So now we got all our coordinates done, and now we just need faces. So I'd like to also add, see here how it says use the fifth element. This one isn't, well, this isn't using an array, so you can see how it has a 1, but it has no 0. So the first element, if we were translating it to OpenGL, would actually be 0. So you just subtract 1 off each number. So we use this line 514. When we're using an array, it would we would have to translate it to 403, just because it would use the wrong coordinates, and because the way arrays work, they start from 0, not 1, and this starts from 1. So now we're going to do our faces, push back, and the first line was 4. Just copy that actually. First line was 4, then it was 0, and 3, I believe. Just gonna double check the copy. Yeah. So 403. Now it's gonna be 437. 437. Paste it again. Let's see what the third one is. It's gonna be 267. 267. And our next one, 267. I'm just gonna put a cursor, so when you translate it and you just say 267, I just look for 267, but it isn't there. Yeah, but 273, 273, 152, 152, 152, 562, 562, 041, 041, 041, and 451, 451. You can see how this can be stressful. This is why we're going to make an object loader, which will basically read all this, push it back, and draw it for us. And all we would have to do is just type in the file name, so cube.object, and it would do everything for us. It's a lot easier. So now we're on 475. 475. Okay, 475. Then we do 765. 765. 76. Oh, we did that. 012. 012. 012 and 023. 023. So we got that part done. We do have initialize. Okay, so first of all, I'd like to put this in initialize method first, because it would waste a lot of memory and processing power, because it would just add that entire section until we close our program, and we only want to load it once because we only need it once. So I'm just going to utilize the initial function that I told you guys we would use, which we will, and actually I'll switch some things up. So I'm just going to put this, and I'm also just going to put all of this there too. Now what we want to do is we're going to enable, so GL enable client state GL vertex array. So we're going to enable that just like, ow, sorry, just, fuck. Sorry, I just hit stuck my toe on my desk. Ow. Anyways, oh shit. Okay, so where was I? Yeah, so the same way we use GL enable def test, there's also several states. So vertex array tells us that we're going to use a vertex array, and then we're going to use GL vertex pointer, and the size is going to be 3, so we're going to have 3 vertexes, type GL underscore float, size of vertex, so just the size of it, and the pointer, it's going to be and vertex 0, so starting from the first element, and then, oh shit, my toenail fell off, just 1 sec. Sorry about that, guys. My nail fell off. I'd show you if I could, but my camera's not on. So we got GL vertex 3 GL float. I don't think that's supposed to be here. That's supposed to be in the draw element. Set that to 0. So now to draw, you know, we use GL. Well, we use GL vertex whatever, and just the Drew itself. We use draw elements mode. So like in GL begin, it asks to switch mode. We can use GL triangles for this, for object files. I find works the best. GL size count, this is where we do size of, and then can I do faces dot size, yeah, so there's a function there. Type, enum type, it's going to be GL unsigned, oh yeah, int, because our vector is in GL uint, so unsigned int, and then do the same thing that we did in vertex pointer, except the pointer is going to be to faces 0. So now it should, it's stupid, I should probably paste it up here. This should draw it. Oh yeah, and then we want to disable the, oh, god damn it, don't still tell me. Disable the client state. Client state GL vertex array double, yeah, should probably change that. Oh, okay. What the fudge is that? Window float and okay. So weird error. Okay. Unresolved. Vector. Why does it just, why does OpenGL like to shit on my life? Second, I'm just gonna see what the problem is, pause it. Okay, I'm back. I found the error. For some reason, my runtime library is set to m/mt instead of mtd. So, yep. So we have this. all done. Now we just call it on our, where's our window.cpp. I'm pretty sure the render is there, but we have to call the initialize this draw there. So as soon as OpenGL is enabled, I'm going to draw, just initialize it, and now it should work, hopefully. That rotation is weird, but it's working. Should probably turn it off. That looked really tricky. That was like some matrix stuff, or like cube field. Flickering. So that's working. We're just getting some weird feedback from our computer. That is super weird. Sick. I'm just gonna try and figure out why it's flickering. Okay, so I figured it out. It's kind of weird. I just added this. I forgot GL matrix mode and that, and I moved the GL clear depth bit, clear color, and load identity to the render, and this is what it looks like. And you know what? We'll try and I'll flip it around. I'll rotate it around real quick. So where's my rotate? GL rotate. Rotate. Angle. 0. So I'm just gonna rotate it on the Y real quick. See if they're down GL flip. Or do we have angle plus? I think I saw it here before I took it out. Oh, sorry about that. Okay. Yeah. So just initialize back, go back to render and make sure everything's there. And you could see it all around. But yeah, so next tutorial, which I'm going to do quickly right after this, there's going to be loading object files, so literally 2 lines instead of going like, because big files, this is just 8 vertexes, this is a cube, and you saw how long it took, but big files like I don't know, 3D models. My 3D models are usually between 500. Let's see. It's not a cube. Yeah, this one has 6,000 or 6,500 verts. It'd be take pretty long copy and paste, so that this basically does it quickly and draws this in 2 lines. So this is Sniperz227. I'll see you next tutorial. If you have any questions or comments or anything, just inbox me. And yeah, subscribe. I'll see you next tutorial.